Let me ask you something. How do you feel when you wake up? Refreshed and ready to seize the day, or like you just wrestled a grizzly bear in your sleep? If it's the latter, don't worry, you're not alone. Mornings have a sneaky way of setting the tone for the entire day. Start off groggy and sluggish, and suddenly everything feels like an uphill battle. But when you wake up feeling energized, clear-headed, and in a good mood, that's when life starts getting a whole lot sweeter. Today, I'm going to let you in on the best-kept secrets of a healthy morning routine, one designed specifically for folks who want to feel vibrant, sharp, and ready to enjoy the day ahead. And no, I'm not talking about climbing mountains or running marathons. We're talking about simple, practical habits that make a world of difference. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to wake up feeling refreshed, boost your mood, and keep your energy steady all day long. Sound good? Welcome to Age-Wise. Let's jump in. Habit number 1, rise and shine. Wake up the right way. For years, I was at war with my alarm clock. I'm talking about full-blown passive-aggressive battles. I'd hit snooze once, twice, okay, maybe 5 times, convincing myself that those extra 10-minute increments were somehow going to make me feel less like a sleep-deprived zombie. Spoiler alert, they never did. Then one morning I had a realization. It wasn't just about how much I was sleeping, but how I was waking up. If you've ever jolted awake to an obnoxious alarm and immediately felt irritated, groggy, or even a little disoriented, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That jarring wake-up throws your body into fight-or-flight mode before you've even had a chance to stretch. That's when I started looking into a better way to wake up, and I discovered something fascinating. According to the National Institute on Aging, our bodies are designed to rise with natural light. Morning sunlight sends signals to our brain telling us it's time to wake up, helping regulate our internal clock and even boosting our mood. Makes sense, right? Our ancestors weren't smacking snooze buttons, they were waking up with the sunrise. So I made a simple change. I swapped my blaring alarm for a sunrise alarm clock, which gradually brightens the room just like natural daylight. Let me tell you, the difference was like night and day, literally. Instead of waking up in a fog, I started feeling more alert and refreshed without that usual morning grumpiness. And here's a bonus tip. If you don't want to get a sunrise clock, try keeping your curtains slightly open to let in the morning light. It's one of the easiest ways to wake up more naturally. Now, waking up right is just the first step. What you do next can make or break your morning energy. And that starts with something so simple, yet so overlooked: hydration. Let's talk about it. Habit number 2, hydration. The morning elixir for energy. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up, shuffle into the kitchen, and what's the first thing you reach for? If you're like most people, it's probably a steaming cup of coffee. I get it. That first sip feels like life itself flowing back into your veins. But here's the problem. Your body is crying out for something else first. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you're dehydrated. Your body has gone an entire night without water, and that morning sluggishness? It's often more about dehydration than lack of caffeine. I didn't believe it either until I tried swapping my first sip of coffee for a tall glass of water. The results were instant. My brain fog lifted, my joints felt less stiff, and I actually had energy before the caffeine kicked in. And don't just take my word for it. According to the Mayo Clinic, dehydration can cause fatigue, dizziness, and confusion. All things we tend to blame on just not being a morning person. But the fix is simple. Drinking at least 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning kickstarts digestion, lubricates your joints, and helps flush out toxins. It's like giving your body a wake-up call from the inside out. Now, I know what you're thinking. Plain water, first thing in the morning, sounds boring. I hear you. That's why I started adding a little lemon to mine. Not only does it give the water a refreshing taste, but lemon is packed with vitamin C, which helps support the immune system. Some people even add a pinch of sea salt for extra electrolytes, especially if they wake up feeling sluggish or lightheaded. So, here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you grab that coffee, drink a full glass of water. See how you feel. If you're like me, you might be surprised at how much of a difference it makes. Now that your body is hydrated and ready to go, it's time to talk about movement. Don't worry, I'm not about to suggest an intense workout, but a little movement in the morning, it can work wonders. Let me show you how. Habit number 3, move to groove. Gentle exercises to wake up your body. Let me tell you something, there was a time when my idea of morning movement was rolling out of bed and shuffling to the coffee maker. If I was feeling extra ambitious, I'd throw in a dramatic yawn and maybe a half-hearted stretch. But here's what I didn't realize. Those first few minutes after waking up are the golden opportunity to set the tone for how your body feels the rest of the day. One morning, I decided to try something different. Instead of heading straight to my usual routine, I took 5 minutes, just 5, to move. I started with some light stretching, nothing fancy, just rolling my shoulders, stretching my arms overhead, and doing a few slow neck rolls. Then I did a few toe touches and gentle twists to wake up my spine. And let me tell you, it was like flipping a switch. The stiffness in my joints faded, my back felt looser, and my energy started rising before I even took a sip of coffee. And get this, science backs it up. According to the Arthritis Foundation, gentle morning movement increases circulation, reduces stiffness, and improves flexibility. That's because while we sleep, our muscles and joints can become stiff from lack of movement. A little stretching gets the blood flowing, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to your muscles, helping them wake up right along with you. If stretching isn't your thing, a short walk around the house works too. Even something as simple as marching in place while brushing your teeth can help shake off that morning sluggishness. The key is to get your body moving in some way, because when your blood starts flowing, your brain wakes up, your energy rises, and your whole day feels better. And just when you think you're ready to tackle the day, there's one more piece to this morning puzzle that can take everything to the next level. It's not about your body. It's about your mind. Let's get into it. Habit number 4, mind over matter, morning mental boost. I used to wake up and dive straight into the day's chaos, check my phone, scroll through the news, maybe even answer a few emails before I'd had my first sip of coffee. And let me tell you, it was a disaster. My brain felt like it was on a roller coaster before I even had a chance to collect my thoughts. Sound familiar? Then I made a small but powerful change. Instead of bombarding myself with information first thing in the morning, I gave my brain a moment to wake up, intentionally. That meant 5 to 10 minutes of something simple but stimulating. Sometimes I'd read a few pages of a book, other times I'd do a crossword puzzle, or even just sit quietly and focus on my breathing. And the difference? Night and day. According to research from Harvard Medical School, engaging in light mental activity in the morning, like reading, puzzles, or even journaling, activates the brain's problem-solving and memory centers. This helps improve focus, boost mood, set a positive tone for the rest of the day. Instead of feeling scattered, I started feeling sharp. Instead of reacting to the day, I felt like I was in control of it. And the best part? It doesn't take long. Just a few minutes of mindful brain engagement can make a huge impact. Even something as simple as jotting down a few things you're grateful for can shift your mindset into a more positive, energized state. Now that your mind is in the right place, there's one last key to locking in a great morning, and it's something we humans need to thrive. Let's talk about it. Habit number 5, social sip. The power of morning connection. There was a time when my mornings were completely silent. I'd wake up, go through my routine, sip my coffee alone while staring out the window. Peaceful, sure. But after a while, I started feeling like something was missing. Then one morning, a friend called me out of the blue. Instead of my usual quiet coffee, we ended up chatting for 20 minutes. And let me tell you, it changed my entire day. I felt lighter, more energized, like I had just filled my emotional gas tank before heading out into the world. That's when I realized, mornings aren't just about taking care of your body and mind. They're about connection too. Studies from Harvard School of Public Health show that regular social interaction can boost mood, lower stress, and even improve cognitive function. And it doesn't have to be a long, deep conversation. A quick phone call, a friendly chat with a neighbor, even sharing a cup of coffee with a loved one. Just a few minutes of genuine human connection can set a positive tone for the entire day. If you live alone, don't worry. You can still create connection in small but meaningful ways. Call a friend while sipping your morning tea. Join an online group where people check in every morning. Or even visit your favorite cafe just to be around other people. The goal isn't to have long, exhausting conversations. It's to remind yourself that you're part of something. Because at the end of the day, we're wired for connection. And when you start your morning with a little warmth from another person, it makes everything else feel a little bit brighter. Now, we've talked about waking up right, hydrating, moving, engaging your mind, connecting with others. But before we wrap this up, let's bring it all together with one final habit that ties everything into a perfect morning routine. Habit number 6. Set your intentions. Plan your day with purpose. There was a time when my mornings felt like a race I had already lost. I would wake up, go through the motions, and let the day pull me in whatever direction it pleased. Some days felt productive. Others felt like I was just reacting to whatever popped up. It was unpredictable, and honestly, a little exhausting. Then I started doing something simple. Before jumping into the day, I took a few minutes to sit down with a notepad and ask myself one question: what do I want out of today? Some days the answer was as simple as enjoying a peaceful afternoon. Other times it was checking off one important task that had been lingering on my to-do list. It wasn't about cramming my schedule with chores. It was about giving the day a little structure and direction. Psychologists at Stanford University say that setting small, intentional goals each morning helps improve focus, reduce stress, and create a stronger sense of purpose. When you start your day with a clear intention, you are less likely to feel overwhelmed and more likely to end the day feeling accomplished. This doesn't mean you need to plan every second of your day. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you want to focus on. Maybe it is calling a friend, going for a short walk, or finally finishing that book you started. The key is to approach the day with purpose instead of letting it slip by on autopilot. Mornings are more than just a transition from sleep to wakefulness. They are a chance to set the tone for everything that follows. And when you begin each day with good habits that nourish your body, mind, and spirit, you create the foundation for a life that feels more energized, more fulfilling, and more in your control. Now that you know the secrets to a healthy morning routine, the real question is this: which habit will you start tomorrow? The way you start your morning is like setting the first domino in motion. Get it right, and everything else falls into place. Wake up feeling refreshed. Hydrate your body. Move a little. Engage your mind. Connect with others. Set a simple intention. None of these habits take much time, but together they create a morning that fuels you instead of drains you. Now I have to ask, which one of these habits are you going to try first? Maybe you start with just one: a glass of water before coffee, a short stretch before breakfast, a quick phone call to brighten someone's day. Small changes can create big transformations, and your future self will thank you for it. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want more tips on living a healthier, happier life, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this journey going together. Thanks for spending your time with me today. Here's to brighter mornings and better days ahead. See you next time.